What's happening out there, people? Welcome to another threaded live. Can you hear us? Go live in the morning on the show. What?
It's too much energy, man.
Is it too much?
Come
on, man.
I can't even match
You
it.
forget.
I know I'm supposed to match the energy. I can't match it.
That's all right. I'll bring the energy.
He's like live, and I'm like,
that's okay. That's okay. Look, you are an hour behind me. For those of you who are listening, I am in Cleveland. That's right, on the move in Cleveland. So it's 9:30. You know what I mean? I've been up for a minute. I'm not. That's a lie. I didn't get up. I hadn't been up a long time, but it's okay. I feel like I should have been up for a little bit. But we are here talking about North Texas Giving Day. Antoine, are you excited for just a day of promotion? I know you've been working on this all week. You ready to get all that stuff out there?
This is what I live for this day. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Okay.
Let's make it happen. No, actually, no. I think what's cool about North Texas Giving Day, despite the fact that we get to raise money for the organization and shamelessly ask for it, which
no shame at all in asking for the money.
But we also get to tell some of the stories. And so I think we tell stories about how Thread has made an impact, and maybe people will hear them a little bit more than they would normally if we were sharing them. And so I think that's what really makes me excited about any of these giving days, where we get to share a little bit about who we are and what impact what we do is making. So what would you say, you're Mr. Threaded, right? So what would be your, you just got somebody new. They're like, hey, what is this threaded thing? What would you say is your description of threaded?
Man, the scriptures threaded. We are a biblical racial reconciliation and unity ministry. We are putting the gospel right in the center of all of this racial upheaval that's going on. Because we believe the Bible has the tools to help this world to unite and to be woven, if you will, together. And I love it. I love doing the work. I love seeing the transformation. I'm constantly, I don't know if the word is amazed, but becoming aware of how disconnected we are from a racial standpoint in this country. Obviously everybody knows about segregation and kind of can look at cities and see that, but just even being able to kind of understand being able to see the world and understand it through the eyes of people who are a little different, it's just difficult. And so one of the things we get to do is we get to help people come together and build relationships, start to have those really difficult conversations and be able to have them well, like the conversation we got to have, the truth telling conversations, but have them, but do them well. And then our ultimate goal, because it's not just about building relationships, the goal is to see, particularly the church, combine together, collaborate together to do transformational work in the community, right? I mean, that's it's got to move to that direction. There's still lots of work to be done so that everybody can really experience a life of flourishing in our environment. So that's it in a nutshell. So it's exciting. I love the work that I get to do.
Right on. Yeah, I love it. I love engaging as well. Again, anytime we can bring practical application to gospel influence, gospel transformation is good. Any place as the church, and certainly where it comes to the race conversation, there is a lot. There's a lot to talk about and a lot to do and be a part of, just by living and by, just by being a Christian in the first place, but also by taking really intentional steps forward to say, hey, how do I bring real energy to gospel change in the racial conflict space? And Threaded wants to help churches do that organizationally, right? We want to help you with your staffs, and we want to help you with your leadership and the leaders in your church. But we also understand that individuals also make a huge difference. And so we want to be able to equip and resource individuals with the tools and the teachings and the techniques that they need to engage this conversation with a Christological gospel influence. And so if you're looking for that, instead of all the divisive ways that people are talking about race and things, then Threaded is the place that you want to be. Today is North Texas Giving Day, so we need your help. We would like for you to partner with us in several ways. We need you. Everyone says the same thing. First, pray for us, and we do. Let's just get that. I want to say get it out the way.
Yeah,
but I don't want to. I don't want to treat prayer like it's the pre. Like it's the slight thing we do in the front end. So like we do need prayer. And I want you to always be praying for us. It's a spiritual battle,
baby.
It is a spiritual battle. But today is about financial giving. That's what today is about. And I think sometimes it's kind of weird for me. Like at first you could pray for us, and it feels like, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, but it feels like it's kind of like we're just gonna say this on the front end, and then we're gonna get to what we really want. And I don't really want to do that. So we're looking for finances today, but we're also looking to invite you into joining into the Threaded family. So you can set up your giving, North Texas Giving Day. You can set up your giving on their website. Here is the website link. Look at that. Look at all those letters.
It's a long link.
All of the letters. Yeah. That's so right. Here's easy though. North Texas Giving Day. You know that, right? So
given
North
with
Texas
an ing.
Giving Day,
you say given. It's given with an ing.
Given with an in. No. givingday.org. And if you just remember /organization and then /we are Threaded, that's going to be a deal. So North Texas Giving Day /organization /we are Threaded. Go set up your gift today. And we're looking to raise. How much are we looking to raise today?
20 grand, baby.
20 grand. We're looking for 20 grand.
Did 19 last year, so we're going to go up to 20.
Yeah, your $20 will go a long way, but I wish you had your little thing. But we $20 is good, but we need one of those preachers to come in and say, "There's a word. I have a word from the Lord in the house." No, we don't need that.
That's all right. That's all right.
The Lord is saying we're gonna get 18,000 this morning. No, I'm just playing.
Hey,
but we need it. So make sure you prayerfully consider jumping in on that. Okay, right. We got a few guests this morning.
We do. We're talking about doing stories and people that have been impacted, have worked with Threaded, engaged with Threaded, been impacted by Threaded in their ministries and things they do. So I want to bring on a couple of these cats. We'll start out with brother Charles.
Old friend Wilson. Of the show. What's up, Charles? Right, How you doing?
What's up? What's up, guys?
Charles, you are in the house. Tell the people a little bit about what you do in your space, in your ministry, and then we could talk about Threaded.
Yeah, church planner. Moved from Dallas back in 2017, June. And about
I can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah, it's been over 5 years.
Wow.
August,
over 5 years? That's crazy. Yeah. It feels like 3 years, 2 years max. I know it isn't.
Well, we were in the blip, so the blip.
That's right.
The way
that's true. We killed 2 years in 2021.
Yeah, imagine being a church planner during the blip. It's like,
man, that's crazy.
It's different. But we moved out here to plant 2 months before Charlottesville happened, and we're like 45 minutes from where that went down, and so that really deeply impacted our church plant, where we were going to plant, and we've been about that work, diverse church in the middle of a predominantly challenging context that's predominantly African American. Our church is about 40%. Things are going well. It's been great.
Okay, so we've talking about you being gone for 5 years, but we've known you for a good while. Part of the reason I wanted you in here is you said something to me years ago when you were going to start church planning. You were planning to do one thing, and then you get engaged in some of the work that Threaded's doing, and then how did that change you? How did that adjust you?
Big time. So I moved out to Dallas 08, 07, right around the election, and really being in that space. And I moved from the Northeast up in Jersey, was really shaping during that time because I'd always been a part of a predominantly Black church. And probably around the election, 2016, 2015, when we started kicking it and we started having man, can we do church better as a bunch of churches in the area? And you guys were kicking off this conversation and we were bringing people together. And I'm getting closer to going and planning, but I'd never been in a diverse context that was intentionally trying to do something different. And so this really, to be honest, this was really the first time I was in a space with different people and I felt safe to say, hey, this is how I feel. And this is how this lands on me or this is what it means because my kids go to this private school.
Right.
And so Reddit for me in the beginning really gave me language, and it gave me like a new way of having this conversation. When you have a conversation in a context that's just people like you talk differently.
Right.
But growing up courage to be in a room with diverse people and saying, hey, you know what, I actually don't like that or whatever. And so Reddit was real good for me in the beginning. Even as we were stewing on planning our church, it really gave us language. It started giving us resources. It put me on to books and stuff I needed to read, so that when we went to do this work, it wasn't just theory. There was actually some information engaging and charging us to be about the work. So it was foundationally important for us.
Hey, y'all see it working? You guys don't know Keon yet. This is
Keon.
Cleveland.
Keon's in the house.
Cleveland here.
Is he
coming in. We're gonna be doing some work.
Is he that dude from Bone Thugs?
He calls you. Is you that book dude from Bone Thugs?
Same thing.
But okay. Charles, I love what you're talking about here. You know, I remember you said to me once, you were like, "Man, I was planning to go do a black church, church planting, and then you moved into a diverse space. I mean, why go from planting a black church to a diverse church?"
So I think my thought was I was just going to go plant a church. And so being black, it's just like, all right, so the people who are going to come will probably be like you. When we got here and with everything that was happening, we had in our values, you know, to be multicultural, multi-ethnic and all that good stuff. But it didn't really become a reality until one, Charlottesville happened, which was close to us. And two, when we started looking at the context of our city, we spent 2 years studying our city and we realized that was one of the big problems. The history of the segregation of the church and the history of the segregation of the city really made us go, man, we need to plant a church that speaks into this and is serious about the gospel in this way, because there isn't other churches here doing it. And so, once Charlottesville happened, it really helped us shift everything and go at it in a very intentional way.
Man, that's good stuff. It's good to hear the continual impact and continue to follow you. Tell the folks the name of the church so that they can connect with you guys as well.
Yeah, what's the website?
It is thehillchurch.com. Our vision, mission, a beautiful mosaic of believers committed to Jesus and the gospel. And we're living into that. It's pretty dope just what the Lord has done in our city and how people are responding. People are driving in from all the different quadrants of our city to worship with us. It's been a great 3 years of ministry, which, 2 of those has been in the blip. So we were like, out here it's different, maybe 20, 30 members before COVID. And now we're after our new members next week, about 100 and some people. So it's been, it's been great. Yeah.
Very cool.
And community development is part of what we're doing. So community development is a big part of planning in so planning where we are is just a big economic challenge. And so since it's Giving Day, please give to Threaded, because they are resourcing churches, helping equip churches to walk this thing out in a very intentional way. And that just doesn't happen. There isn't a lot of resources. So that is very serious. We need the resources. We need the ammo. We need the coaching. We need the information to have serious conversations in our church. So we take the summer and we sit down as a church family and have food, and we have very intentional conversations. In order to do that, we need resources. There isn't necessarily, you can't go through Ephesians every summer. You need some more intentional resources to say, hey, how do we live this out? How do we have healthy conversations? And what are the things that help to divide us so that we can be more intentional with staying together? And so please support these guys, because the work they're doing is helping churches, not only locally there in Texas, but all over.
Man, thank you.
Thanks, my man. I appreciate it.
Most people, just a quick behind the scenes thing. If you like our logo, that is Charles's wife created that, Trinae.
There it is.
We owe her quite a bit for that.
There it
man.
is.
Charles, we love you, my brother. I know she is, man. She's so bougie, man.
She get calls from people with like real money. They be sending checks. She'd be like, nope, I don't want to do nothing. Like, she's moved on from there.
hey,
we got
I
her
understand.
On the very end of it.
Tell her I understand. There's a ceiling to it. You're like, look, you know what? I think I'm ready to step away.
Right.
Yeah, I feel that 100%.
It's like too much time. And she's like,
it was after she dealt with me. She's like, I gotta get out of this thing, man. I gotta get out of this thing.
It might
Charles,
man. She's a beast, but yeah.
All right, man. Thanks. Yeah, man. Thanks for spending some time with us, man. I appreciate it.
We'll holler at you later, brother.
Peace.
Yeah, it's funny. I see on the I see on the Charles. You got to see on. I know you're still in here. Just listen for a second. So I see on our
John
stream
Legend.
that Keon, who walked in here, y'all talking about Bone Thugs. He said John Legend said said thanks for the Bone Thugs shout out. Yeah. Charles gets that John Legend quite a bit.
Man.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
all right.
Charles and John Legend. Man, that's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, man. We got a couple more guests. All right, so I'll let you introduce the guests.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm so grateful to get Charles in here and talking about that. Again, it's about the stories. It's about the transformation that people
What's
have
cool, real
when
quick?
they engage.
What's cool about the Charles story is that it's a practical implementation, and in this case, Threaded comes alongside and augments. It changes a fundamental thing. It opened a fundamental change in the way he was approaching maybe church, but it augments his normal church planning life and journey, and in a way that complements what he's doing instead of overtakes it and changes everything about it. But it's complementary. So church planners out there, that's a story that you can rock with. But go ahead.
And look, so this next cat's coming on. It's not a similar story, but there's aspects of it that kind of work together. So just thinking about churches, and I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm gonna let Reggie Niles come in here. Reggie, come on in here, buddy. What's going on, Reggie? How you doing, baby?
What it do, man? Long time no
Good
see.
morning, fellas. Antoine in the house. How are you, man? Had a long
Hey, man,
time
we
no
good.
see.
We good. It has been a minute.
It
It has
been. Marcus, good seeing you again.
I know. Got to hang out with Reggie. Was it last week? 2 weeks ago? I don't even remember. It feels like it goes quick.
Last week, yeah.
Man,
last week.
Heading up in Baltimore. Reggie, you got a great ministry work that's going on in Baltimore. Finally got to check it out. But Reggie used to live down in Texas with us. So
Yes.
Reggie, I know we don't want to keep you forever. Tell us a little bit about, like your interaction with Threaded and what that has, how that's affected you in any particular way.
Yeah. So Threaded for me was life.
Oh, hold up, Reggie. I totally destroyed you here. You did it. You were about to do a great job. I get really connected because I already know everything you do. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now, and then you can talk about the Threaded piece.
Yeah, so I moved to Baltimore about actually 3 months ago. Me and my family moved here, and we're doing. I'm pastor of city engagement for a church called Hope Baltimore, and we are doing some cool creative stuff in the city of Baltimore. Well, I'm still saying it wrong. Baltimore.
That's it.
Baltimore. That Texan still comes out of me. Yeah, that Texan still comes out. But doing some just fun collaboration with community, civic leaders, schools on how can we really engage in the things that are plaguing Baltimore. And so it's been fun. We're a church that's probably 60% Black, 40% white. And there's a mix of others in there. And so Asian, Latino. And so it's been really a fun thing to be here. So
yeah, man, it's good. And I love what you're doing. It's so interesting to have both Reggie and Charles come in. Most churches, when they're talking and engaging kind of multi-ethnic, they tend to be led by some of our white brothers and sisters. But we're seeing this sort of change that we're seeing people of color leading in these multi-ethnic spaces, which I think is a really important piece. But tell us, Reggie, just a little bit about. I know we've been friends for a bit. How did you engage with Threaded? What did that mean to you?
Yeah, so I first heard about Threaded in Dallas, working at a church there in North Texas with Antoine, and Threaded came across the scope, and I was real hesitant, just to be honest, about stepping into that space because number one, I think Botham John had just happened. There was a lot of anger in me and in my heart, and anger that through Threaded, I realized I had been carrying a long time. So being in a space with some white brothers and sisters, some Latino brothers and sisters, and Asian, because we try to do a group thing, was just very not welcoming for me. I didn't want to step into that. But man, so I'll probably forget some of the first questions, and I know you've adapted the curriculum, but there was a question that you popped up in one of the early sessions where it says, what was your first experience with race? And or when did you realize that your color was different? I can't remember the question right now, but I realized the moment the hour, the time, and where I was in second grade when that happened. And so what it did for me was show that I had been carrying this stuff for so long, and it wasn't healthy stuff. It was just anger and rage. And for me, I always grew up in areas that were diverse. I grew up in San Antonio, very military town, a lot of mixed communities, population. So my parents working hard put us in areas that it was very multicultural, and but I always felt like I was defending my race in these cultures, and so there was never really a safe space, and so I felt like I was always me against them or me against someone else. And so when Threaded asked that question, it really gave me a time to process with brothers who looked different than me, and then hearing their stories and engaging in it. It was just, I mean, for me, it was healing. It was that, man, I don't have to be so combative. There's actually good people who want to hear my story, and I want to hear theirs. And then the second part was just for me to be a man of faith and saying that I believe the word of God. I believe who Jesus is. And if I'm going to love God with all my heart, then I really need to love others. And what does that look like? And I'm actually not living that life out because I'm holding animosity, I'm holding rage, I'm holding whatever it was against other brothers and sisters who just hadn't really done anything to me personally,
Wow.
So, yeah.
I mean, that's look. We've had multiple conversations on this. Every time I hear it, it's still really affirming of really what we hope to see in the midst of Threaded. You know what I mean? I think not just you, everybody comes to this conversation, right, with all their kind of, whether it's animosities, idiosyncrasies, histories, like they come to it with something. And I think Charles said earlier, it was like, it's easy to kind of have those conversations when you're with people who are just like you, and it's a different conversation. But when you put everybody in the room and you put God in the center of it,
right.
United as one into Christ, things just change in the midst of it. And I don't think that's just about you or me. I think it's a testament to the spiritual act and focus and work that needs to be done in this, and the need for what we're doing here.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's part of the discipleship journey for all of us as we start to literally put skin on. What does it mean to love others, love our neighbors as we love ourselves, as that part of the great commandment. So love it, man. Reggie, that's my first time hearing that story, but I love hearing it.
You saw me some of my angry days.
That's okay, man. We had some venting sessions. It was good.
Yeah, we did together.
It was all good though. Sometimes you just, sometimes you gotta let that steam out. But yeah, I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that we're at this point in the journey with it. So that's what's up.
Yeah, that's right. And now we're trying to. What's that again, Rich?
It's a beautiful thing that now here, like in Baltimore, like we're collaborating with some other churches, and Marcus, like he said, came down last week and was here sharing what Threaded does and the curriculum, and not only Threaded but the whole organization, and how can they come and help us engage in conversations with other churches as we collaborate and merge, and just even from culture intelligence tests to just training for some of our leaders to like really walk through this process together. So it will continue on,
Yeah. That's one of the things that's been really interesting is watching it kind of organically spread across the country. We were just doing our thing in Texas, and every once in a while we learned that someone grabbed a curriculum from Indiana or from Portland or Baltimore. We had some North Carolina stuff, and Marcus is in Cleveland right now, and it's kind of slowly but surely reaching different audiences, and it's been cool to be a part of that growth, and you're part of that story for sure.
Yeah, man. Hey, Reggie, we appreciate you coming out today, brother.
Thanks man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And wait. Give to Threaded. North Texas Giving Day. Make sure you give to Threaded, and check out the curriculum. It is a family conversation that you will enjoy. Yeah. All right, brother.
Right.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate
Thanks for the shout out. Yeah, I like when other people talking about money. I appreciate it.
Exactly. Hey, so the curriculum you're talking about is called The Journey. You can find it on wearethreaded.org/groups. And if you want to get a little bit of a preview from that, I think we're going to be giving away a little bit of something like that, a sample of that at the conference that we're going to be that we're a part of coming up in November. So one of the cool things that Threaded gets to do is we've connected with Mosaic's Church. Not Mosaic. Well, it is Mosaic, but the Mosaics Conference. It's a multicultural. It's been going on for several years. It happens every 3 years, and this is the 5th time it's happened. So this has been going on for 15 years. National conference to help church leaders have practical conversations about what it looks like to jump into to lead their churches in multicultural ways and lead into the 21st century. We get to do the digital version of that. The sort of concurrent digital of version, a virtual version of the conference. Man, I'm struggling to get through that. The virtual version of the conference. So there's an in-person version that's happening here in Dallas. But if you can't, you don't have the finances to get here, or something's in the way, and you want to do it at your office or in your home, you can do the virtual conference that's running alongside the in-person conference, and Marcus and I get to host that conference. Only $69. You can visit our virtual booth, and in our virtual booth, there may be some surprises, including potentially a sample version of The Journey, that small group curriculum that Reggie was talking about. So if you want to get in on that, then you can head to our website, or you can go to mosaicsconference.com. Right?
That's right. Mosaics with an X.
Yeah, mosaics with an X.com. Okay. I know we got other people to jump in here. So
yeah. And we're talking about The Journey, we're talking about the curriculum, talking about Threaded. I want to bring in 2 folks that were part of creating Threaded, creating the curriculum, and continue to still help guide Threaded here today. They're actually 2 cats that are part of the advisory team. One is our advisory board chair, and the other is a good friend who's been a part of the advisory board. So I'm gonna bring in Larry, and I'm gonna bring in the Benjamin Minister as well, Ben Wong. We got a couple of these are some of our favorite folks, some of our advisory board folks.
What's up, fam?
What's going on, guys? Larry, how you doing today, man?
We are doing great. Thank you. Yeah,
good. And you're again, Larry and Ben are in the North Texas area as well. Larry, tell us a little bit about what you do, and then we'll come over to Ben and talk about that.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Larry Murray. I am a pastor at Plano Bible Chapel in East Plano, just a diverse community, and been there for about 18 years. And our mission and purpose is to lead all people to a life-changing, ever-growing relationship with Jesus. And we want to do that faithfully and sacrificially, and just love others as Jesus first loved us.
That's right. And I love that mission. I've been working with Larry for 10, 11 years. I don't know. He's one of the first cats that I was collaborating with. We collaborated multiple times around a particular school there in East Plano, did multiple engagements with principals and all. I mean, it was fantastic. And Larry has been in this work from the very beginning. We're glad that you're here, brother. And one who's close to being here from the very beginning, had to be pulled in just a little bit, is our friend Ben Wong. How you doing, Ben? Tell us a little bit about what you're doing, where you are. Which is an interesting question, I'm imagining, to ask you.
We won't get into all the details.
Okay,
Cool.
Good. Yeah, get it up. All right, tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, hey, it's good to see all y'all. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you, man. You sound
Perfect.
good.
Okay, hey, my name is Benjamin Wong. I'm a pastor at Asian American Baptist Church. I've been blessed to be there for 24 years. And our mission is just like every church, is to make disciples to the 4th generation and beyond. And so able to be with Threaded family for over 6 years. So
That's right. And I got the pleasure and the honor of going and preaching at Asian American Baptist Church. It's been a couple of weeks now, but just to feel the love of those folks. It was my second time kind of spending a lot of time with that church. I mean, we've done things with it, right? But to be able to kind of be around and just to feel the love, it feels like coming home. It was great to just play around with you guys. So thanks for inviting me out there to be with you guys. Ben again. He's been with us for a little bit. I'll start with you since we're on you. How did you get, what's your connection to Threaded? How has it impacted the things you do?
Yeah, so it started, like I said, 6.5 years ago when you, Marcus, invited me over for coffee. And so I have to admit, and I freely admit, I wasn't excited to be part of another network of pastors and leaders, because I felt like I already had enough. But as I met with you, as I start to get to meet other brothers and sisters, I really enjoyed and was blessed by the relationships, first and foremost, that these are sisters and brothers who are from different denominations and different churches, but we still have the same mission and the goal. And to come around this mission of also racial reconciliation, for me, was, again, a tentative one at first, because honestly, I didn't think I had anything contribute, that it wasn't my problem. That's a black and white problem. You guys figure it out. And so I really dipped my toe a little bit into this foray of what Threaded was. I realized over time that in order to be part of the solution of racial reconciliation, you actually realize you have to own the problem for yourself. And so over these, obviously these last 6+ years, it's been so amazing for me to just realize that I have a problem with racial injustice myself, because I have a proclivity to be prejudiced and to be racist, and I need the desperate hope of the gospel of Jesus Christ to transform me, and then I can be part of the solution as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's well said, and kudos
as
to
usual.
you exactly. and very much in line with the values of Threaded. It's confessional. I think we all have to recognize that we have, I like you said, that proclivity towards really ranking people in a value system of prejudice and racism, right? Like it's part of the sin nature, right? And so if we don't own that possibility even exists, then we're never going to be able to fix the problem. So that's what I've always appreciated about you, Ben, and that confessional aspect. And most people don't know this, but we might not have even created Threaded if it was not for Ben. It was you. I don't even know.
No,
when we were in one of our meetings right after the shootings in Dallas, and you said we need to do this in a more formal way. What we have been doing for the last year and a half, we need to do this in a more formal way, because people need to experience the transformation that we experience in this space. You said that, and so it was like everybody's like, "Oh, okay, all right, let's go."
Okay, all right. I don't remember saying that, but
I know. Well, you say a lot of good things, so I remember those things. I don't know if Larry remembers that. Like, how long you been engaged with Threaded, and how has it impacted you?
Yeah, I think my journey with Threaded began probably in January of 2015. It was just a few months after 18-year-old Michael Brown was shot and killed in Ferguson. And I was not only just grieved over his death, but also the division of the community and the division in the church.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I watched and just really wrestled with was the lack of pastors being able to lead in their community, because they weren't just friends. They didn't even know each other.
Yeah.
And so, we began meeting, with just a few local pastors and a restaurant, including you, Marcus, kind of getting us started. And we began to read through and discuss Dr. King's letter from a Birmingham jail. And then we moved on to a compilation of letters to a Birmingham jail. And it wasn't just the reading, but the discussion and learning how much I had to learn, how much I didn't know, learning to listen. And it just turned into a safe space for godly people who love Jesus and are committed to living out the good news of eternal life through faith in him, working together to address some issues in the church, especially for me growing up in a predominantly white church, just kind of ignored. And I just grieved over my own ignorance and segregation, and so wanted to do something different. Also with that, just seeing more of the scriptures where unity among the diverse body of Christ points people to the beauty of Christ, especially in ugly, evil days.
Yeah.
And so John 17 is certainly a significant passage that Christ's prayer for unity so that people see and know Jesus and know that we're his disciples. That became part of my daily prayer, Lord, that we would be unified in our relationships, unified toward reconciliation, and unified toward working together in areas that are both individual but more systemic in nature.
Yeah. And what I love about having both of you guys here, just for those folks, I know there's a lot of folks who push back on the race conversation, and there are some would say, you guys are just making race an idol. You know what I mean? Like it's just all about race. But what I love about having an advisory board that's full of so many men and women of God who lead, who preach, and to study the Bible, theologically sound, is that what you're talking about is we've had almost like a theological reorientation of ourselves, that when we go to the Bible, we can't help but see the way in which God is approaching the reconciliation of ethnicities and culture for the experience of the heavenly church in Revelation 7:9 of all tribes, tongues, and nations. And so I'm always appreciative of you guys keeping us in that space of how does this intersect with centrality of the gospel in our lives, and how do we make sure that this is a biblical, and if I can even say more importantly, a theological guide to what this work is doing. And so I really appreciate you guys and all the work that you've been able to do with us. We want people to know that we do have this board and we have these folks, and that they're here. In fact, Larry, you're supposed to be at the advisory board meeting right now. And I've got you here. So so I'll thank you for being on the show with us, and I'll let you roll over and go get that advisory board meeting going.
Thank you guys.
Us, Larry.
I'm glad to be a part of it, glad to support Threaded, and want to encourage people to not only give but also get involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for letting me be a part of this.
Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Ben.
Appreciate it. Yeah. We'll see y'all later.
Thanks.
Well, hey, it's been
all right. It's been a good morning, a good kickoff to the morning. Don't forget, North Texas Giving Day. We're $20,000. We've already had some givers. The people have already got it started. We're 5% there toward the goal, I think, so far. So I think we've got our first 5%. I think is $1,000, right? Yeah, I think that is right.
Is that right? I don't do. You don't do math. I'm a creative. So.
He said, I don't do math.
Here, I let calculators do math. I just
hold on. Let me hold on. I'm gonna share my screen just because it'll be fun maybe for the people. to see the page. Oh, there's the page right there.
Oh, the page.
So this is the North Texas Giving Day page that you'll want to come to. It says Threaded. What you'll want to do is hit donate. But we've got a little bit of you probably can't see that on the screen, but it says 5% complete of our goal. That's a good start. It's only 8:30 or 9, I guess, in the morning Central Time. So far, so good. All you'll want to do is click this donate button just like that and enter $1,000 right here on the donation amount, and then scroll down and enter some information here. And most of this stuff is the this is information that that North Texas Giving Day is going to use a little bit more than we are with regard to some of this demographic data. But yeah, you'll enter that in, and it is as easy as that. Get down to the bottom, hit this pay now, and then you will have done your part in helping us get to where we're trying to get to today. So
that's right.
Consider it. Pray. Go get the wife and the husband, whoever it is, and y'all make a phone call and come up with an amount that you feel like would be good to support this ministry and continue to have the stories like we saw today.
That's right. And I said on my post that I was doing earlier, look, we're gonna bug you about it all day. So go ahead and get your money, get it given now, and then you can ignore us the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? And we're also looking for those who want to come and continue for matching gifts. In fact, while I'm saying this, I just got a text from a friend. He's like, "Hey, can I create a matching gift for you guys?" So he said he's going to give $2,500, and he will match up to $2,500 of what is given. So right now, what we have is 1,000. So it's actually 2,000 right now. So if you're out there and you're like, man, I want to do some matching gifts, I want to challenge people to do it. Do that today too. We'd love to have it. So this is good, Antoine. It's a good kickoff. You know what I mean? I know we got a couple more coming at noon and then 5:30. So we'll try to keep y'all up to date and in the know about what's going on. Again, you got the link there to be able to give to Threaded. We're looking to get that $20,000 mark. We want you to be a part of making it happen. Anything else, Antoine, before we roll up?
No, I think that's it. I think that is all there is to it.
That's right.
You guys have a good rest of the day. Go ahead and get to that link. Make sure you tune in or tell people, share the word, get it out there. You don't have to be in Dallas to give. If you're part of the Threaded family and you're not here in Dallas, then this is a great opportunity to have the conversation. But we're looking forward to a great day of storytelling and new partnerships. Hope you have a good rest of the day. I guess that's it.
All right. We'll see y'all later. Have a blessed day.
Bye.